Second part to the second line of defense, we're now going to focus on fever and lymph. So, lymph, we'll start there. Nice and short, it's made up, as we learned in year 11, of a whole bunch of lymph vessels, lymph nodes, lymph organs, such as like the spleen, thymus gland, you name it, okay? Now, the lymphatic system is ultimately responsible for the production and storage of white blood cells or leukocytes, and also for the transport of microbes to the lymph nodes. So, the lymph nodes themselves. This should be a little bit of recap for you. They are big masses of lymph tissue, and they're found all along the lymphatic vessels, specifically in the trunk, neck, armpits, and groin regions. Why do we have them at these main stops along the body? Well, they act as a filter. They contain macrophages and lymphocytes, and what they're going to do is they're going to filter out all of the nasty pathogens which may have made their way past the first line of defense into the second line of defense. They're going to be trapped and they're going to be destroyed. So when an infection occurs, the formation of these lymphocytes increases, and what we can observe sometimes is these lymph nodes to become swollen and sore due to this overactivity. So we looked at this diagram at the end of the last lesson. We were looking at inflammation, and what we can still see here is, well, first of all, towards the top, mast cells have triggered, using histamine and heparin, this inflammation process to begin. As we look down the bottom, we've also got macrophages, and macrophages are going to secrete hormones known as, oh, my heart is not working here, hormones known as cytokines, okay, or cytokines, and what they're going to do is they're going to attract these cells from the immune system to come and activate and get involved in tissue repair, okay? Now this entire inflammatory response is going to continue until the foreign material is eliminated and the wound is repaired. Now, sometimes this inflammation process takes a while. Sometimes it's also not quite enough. And so our body, in the cases of quite nasty illnesses, will undergo fever, which is very simply defined as an elevation in our body temperature. Why do we have it? Number one, it inhibits pathogenic replication. Okay? It forces pathogens to replicate in a non-ideal environment because the temperature is too high. It helps us as it increases our metabolic rate, so it helps us with our tissue repair. And finally, it's going to increase our rate of production of plasma cells and antibodies and cytotoxic T cells. Okay? Now, what this is going to do is it's going to increase our third line response, which we'll get to in a lesson's time. So what's the fever process? Well, number one, macrophages are activated, okay? Number two, they secrete pyrogens, okay, which are a form of chemical messenger, and effectively these pyrogens, such as interleukin-1, are released into the blood, okay? They're going to send a message to the hypothalamus specifically, and what it's going to do is it's going to reset the body's thermostat to a slightly higher than normal temperature. So what do I mean by this? Well, if our regular body temperature is 37 degrees, as I've just highlighted in yellow, what happens during a fever is the hypothalamus is reset to a higher point. So in this case, 39.5 degrees. So as a consequence of that, the body feels really cold because we're below the body's set point now. So how does your body respond to being cold? Well, we shiver and we have vasodilation of the blood vessels in the skin. Okay? This causes us to warm up, and so our body temperature rises. Now, eventually, the fever is going to break. Okay? And when the fever breaks, this means that the body's thermostat is then reset back down to 37 degrees. This is going to take place following the destruction of all of these nasty pathogens within the body. And when the body's thermostat is reset back down to 37, we suddenly feel really, really hot. And so the body will go through a process of sweating and vasodilation in order to bring our body temperature back down towards that yellow line at 37 degrees or so. So why does the body respond, okay, during both stages? Well, as we mentioned, during the chill phase, you feel really cold. Why? Because your set point, has moved much higher from its regular baseline in yellow. So what body responses are seen? Well, as we've mentioned, need to increase our body temperature. So we're going to shiver, we're going to increase physical activity via the contraction of those skeletal muscles, and we're going to increase vasodilation to the skin. Number 2, the crisis phase. When we're talking about the crisis, this is when the fever breaks. We want to bring our body temperature back down, so we're sweating. So that's a very quick overview of the lymphatic system and of fever. I definitely just go and have a look at this diagram and see if you can explain each of these steps throughout the diagram in order to supplement your responses.